Hey, welcome back to my channel. Guys, it is Tuesday, which means it is 2 days past the knife in the kidney Sister Wives episode. Child, flu season has come in and it has visited this household. My fiance is so sick, so I have been nursing him back to health. He is finally able to go back to work, and I am able to sit here and give my recap and review of the knife in the kidneys. Let's get into it. This week, we are still sitting on the porch with Christine and the family, discussing the fact that Christine has sold her house. Of course, we are way past that because now we are just about into the Shakespearean performance that Cody is about to give. Christine says, "I wouldn't wish this relationship on any of my friends." To be honest, I don't think that I would wish this relationship with Cody and Mary and Robin on anyone in the world, not even my worst enemy. It is the most toxic relationship I think I have ever been a witness to. I thought that we would learn that we could move on, Robin says. Cody is angry because she wasn't about the family. Are you kidding? What I don't understand is how these people do not remember that we have years and years of footage, literally from the very beginning, season 1, episode 1, where they show Christine being about the family. She was the one who stayed home. She's the one who did the homeschooling. Janelle even credits her with being the person who took care of the kids. And as we found out, Christine went out and worked even after she was done doing all of that. And Cody could not be bothered to help her, which is why I believe it was McKelty or Madison, one of them, I can't remember, one of them had to, Aspen was the one that had to actually put the kids to bed. So I really do think she's been about the family, Cody, and I think that you are just trying to find reasons to be mad at this woman for making the decision to walk away from you. He says, "Thank you for coming to the family and helping me get out of this mess that I was in." Now, we know that as soon as he says this, that he's talking about the mess he was in with Mary. Because why? He learned very early on that he didn't really want to be married to her. Mary also realizes this, and then in her couch confession lets us know that it stings when he says it because it is directed at her. Now, if you were to go back and read the Sister Wives book, you know, and them talking about it on the show, that Janelle and Mary couldn't even share a kitchen or a space without it being a hostile environment for Janelle. So in comes Christine, the third wife. She's the one that even she admits is kind of the one that evens the playing field out. Well, what I think Mary wanted to have happen was that Christine was going to come in, be the saving grace, but be on her side. And it's not quite working out that way. She brought in Robin, and now here we are. He really did insult Mary. I mean, even in a relationship argument with another wife about how much he is mad at her and dislikes her, he finds a way to insult Mary. That is a bad day when you can be fighting with somebody else about their relationship and you get insulted. Wow. You know, I feel like Mary's face was like, I really want to say something right now, but I know I better not. I better just sit here and take it, because she is still hoping that she will be in the vicinity of Cody and Robin in the celestial kingdom. He says, "Thank you for ripping off the Band-Aid. I'm glad that you went ahead and did it, and I'm kind of sorry that it went on this long." And Janelle, ride or die, says, "I'm not. Because had it not gone on this long, we would not have the family that we have. We wouldn't have this cohesive family." And he shoots back that the family is not cohesive. The adult kids barely talk to each other. There are 3 of Christine's kids that talk to 3 of Janelle's kids. And to him, that is not cohesive. I was really, really proud of Christine saying, I did not cause your bad relationship with your children. Your COVID rules, or Robin's COVID rules, because we know that's who it was, those rules are the reason that you don't have that connection with your children. And he calls bull. Of course he does. Of course he does. Child, Cody was trying to cut Christine to the white meat, but y'all, that therapy is working. And this is actually like gasoline to the fuel of her fire to leave. Remember when she said that Mary took her out and showed her the mountains, and that by her doing that, it made her realize even more that she didn't want to be there? Well, Cody's doing the same thing. Like, you're trying to figure out why you're upset with Christine. I don't know if you're thinking that's going to make her change her mind and want to stay, but you're actually pushing her further and further away. And then, of course, Sass, she, of course, realizes that her turn is coming. So she tries to back off a little bit, but still be in the corner for Cody. So Robin, since we just brought her up, who is still in need of an IEP, thinks that this conversation qualifies as Christine and Cody talking about their problems, and that there's maybe a chance for a miracle. Child, if you don't sit down somewhere and study life, just study being the age you are. Then he says to her, don't word what I said. Just soak it in. Christine looks at him like, punk, please don't let me get off this camera. And don't test me because you got the camera. I'm in therapy, but I'm a work in progress. I swear I heard that in her head. She said, don't test me. I don't know who the patriarchal guy is that I married. This is Janelle. Sure you do, Janelle. He's the one who said he was bringing patriarchy back, that he should have never let you all have so much independence. Maybe you haven't heard that yet because you haven't seen the couch interview, but this is exactly who you married. And I think that maybe he pulled the wool over your eyes for a little bit. But, and this is not against Janelle because she is really one of my favorites. Like, she is the second in the queendom to me, to Christine. Or she might be right on level with Christine for me. But I think that they all knew who they married. It's just that he had a real good poker face until someone is now bucking the system and not falling in line. Cody says, I'm trying to figure out why I'm so angry. And Janelle says, I think you're in mourning, Cody. You're disguising it, but I think you are in mourning. And he shoots off and says, well, no, it's because I feel like an investor who poured into everything and it didn't work out. Question. Were you this mad about my sister wives closet? Because you invested in that and it didn't work out. He said, I held her hand. I kissed her. I did my duty as a husband. I wasn't in love. So side note, you are practically admitting that because of Christine's pedigree, because of her being basically royalty in the church, that is why you married her. That is so sad. Like, that's so ridiculous. So her standing outside eating nachos and grossing you out, you still decided to go ahead and marry this woman because of who her family was. Ooh, you are a sneaky link, Cody Brown. Mary gets giddy at the fact that Cody finally remembers her name and asks for her opinion on anything. He says, you look like the mouse that swallowed, or the bird that swallowed the mouse. And she starts giggling. Why would I have anything to say? Girl, you missed your cue. Because what he was trying to do was bring you in on the attack on Christine. And because you didn't have your lines memorized, you couldn't be a part of the action and had to just shut on back down. He turned his head and said, see, I tried to give her a chance, but she wasn't ready. So Robin, it's on you. So basically, Robin is turning a whole divorce back on it being about her. And she says, I'm struggling today. I'll do better another day. Y'all, the drama in this episode. This episode was the hardest episode for me to watch. It made me the maddest. I thought I had been mad like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago. This episode was drama filled, but it made me so mad. And we're getting there. It says that it's weird that I'm in the middle of a divorce, but I'm with someone who's loyal and loving. Notice he didn't say, but I'm with others or other wives who are loyal. But when he says someone, notice the close-up on Robin. Man, these producers this season, they are doing their job in a trolley sort of way, and I am here for it. Robin says, okay, I have a question. Are you interested in working stuff out, or do you need your space? She says, I need space. Mic drop. Mic drop. Because that's not the answer Robin expected. Robin expected Christine to be who Christine has always been, which was a person who was willing to hand the olive branch off, even when she didn't feel the most comfortable, even when she was in her jealous moments, even when she did not like you coming in. She always came back to you with an olive branch or some sort of peace offering, and you accepted it. But this time she said, no, thank you. No, thank you. Because what she really could have said was, no, thank you, because I've been hearing that you're talking about me behind my back. But Christine's therapy is working. Keep that therapist, child. You need to fly back in to Arizona to see her at any time you can. Can I get her number? Can I get her number? So she says, well, if Cody's not in the picture, maybe this would make room for her to have a relationship with me and my kids. No, heifer, it doesn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you sat last week and called her a liar to her face. Why would she want to be friends with you or your kids that made fun of Janelle's RV? We don't want you in our lives. We need space. Same thing. Same difference. She said it nicely, but that's basically was what she was trying to say. She said, I need to leave and you can't come. Ever. Don't call. Don't stop by. You can't come. You are not invited. And, Christine was very nice and said, I'm hoping one day we can have family reunions and maybe we can have a barbecue. Maybe we can, do a little Zoom because, we good at Zoom now. Maybe we can do a WhatsApp. We could do that. But I really don't want to be around you. Mary says, well, I may as well stand up and leave because now I know where I stand. Well, honey, you should have, because I'm not really sure why you were there in the first place. As a matter of fact, I don't even think most of them knew you was in town till you showed up. So then she says, well, I don't know, Robin. I don't know where I stand. And he has to come in. Cody says, this is the beginning of the Shakespearean soliloquy, y'all. You ready? He says, she's treated you like crap from the beginning. So then he gets ready. He's starting to get up. He says, you never tried to have a relationship with these people. Now, did you see the blocking? If any of you are familiar with theater, when you move from one place to another, it's called blocking. He had his blocking down. He almost forgot because he had his back to the camera. But he realized, oh, I'm not blocked. I'm not in the right place. I got to move stage left. So he turns and he walks over to the other side of Janelle. And he says, man, the knife and the kidneys, the sacrifices I made to love you, wasted. Child, he been practicing that. I'm going to go ahead and give him some applause for that because that was some good Shakespearean acting, y'all. It was simple blocking, but he did it. He did it. Janelle has sympathy for Christine, but no sympathy for me. No, because you've practically treated her the same way. Janelle is like your buddy. You have both said how awkward you are in romantic relationship. Janelle refers to you as her best friend, but not in the best friend, I married my best friend way. Like, I think y'all do pounds when y'all see each other. Y'all be like, when you leave, you don't say bye, you say stay up. Like, y'all don't, I think once or twice, maybe 3 times we've seen Janelle and Cody have any physical kiss or whatever. And in this episode, later on, she says, bye, baby. And it was the most awkward thing I had heard. So basically, he says that I'm saying that that's a foreshadow to the dinner conversation that is coming up in a future episode where he basically tells her that they haven't been on the same page for a long time. I feel like he's been dropping hints or clues about the fact that Janelle is probably, allegedly, we hope, going to leave because he keeps giving us reasons why he would be okay with that, even though he's not saying, I really want her to go. He's not saying the same things that he says about Mary, but he's giving us these little jewels of why. Like, we'll be able to look back and see that this is probably why, or he said this, so it could lead to things like that. I really do hope that she steps because they all deserve better. They all deserve better. So then Janelle tells Christine, that was all just emotion. It was all emotion as she's hugging her. Mary says that was not emotion. He's wanted to say those things for a long time. It's probably been deep down inside, and I'm glad he said it. Listen here, Catfish. I need you to sit there on pause like you have been and think about your next visit with Jen at the B&B, because you really had nothing to add to this conversation. Nothing. You've seen her disdain for you. You've seen her treat Robin bad. Really? Okay. What you've seen is that Christina's her own person. And yes, she wanted equal marriage, but she didn't have to be married to Robin. She had to be married to Cody, and that is who she wanted the relationship with. She can choose who she wants to be close to, and it ain't y'all. Accept it and move on. So then he says that Christine's the one who's been tattling, not the other wives. What grade are we in? Are we like in kindergarten? Tattling? So you look at your wives as tattling when they come to you? Of course, Robin has to back up his stupidness and say, I learned very early on in our relationship that if I go to him and vent about another wife, it really makes him angry because I'm talking about someone he loves. Okay. I think you've been able to go to him and talk about what you wanted to talk about the entire time you've been married to him. Mary and Robin stand up, leave, and Robin says, I'm so sorry to see you go. And then we hear Robin weeping, conveniently right into her microphone, in the driveway. I guess they're sad. They're weeping because the spell they tried to cast didn't work. And they're probably going to be burned at the stake in the center of town for practicing witchcraft. Too bad. So sad. It's a week later, and Cody is finally aware that Christine is leaving. Finally. He visits Janelle, and they talk about the electric coming into the RV and what they're probably going to do for winter. And of course, it's really harsh out there because in that part of Arizona, there's nothing around to shield winds and things like that. And it's in this conversation that we realize that Janelle has pretty much been bamboozled out of a lot of money and her inheritance to leave her children. So if she left right now, she would be leaving with nothing. That made me so angry for her. I don't know how any of you felt about it, but I was like, oh my goodness. When she sat there and said, we gave half of the money from the sale of her house or one of the houses to get Robin into her home and money from the family fund. And now she is living in a fifth wheel, still has the dream of building on Coyote Pass, and you can't give her any help? When Janelle looked at that camera and said, when is it my turn? Why can't it be my turn? Y'all, I wanted her to get up, take the mic off, and walk out the door. And I wanted a camera to just watch her walk, her back to the camera, straight out to her car, get in, and drive off. Lord knows we've seen Cody do it a million times. Janelle, take that as your turn. Get in your car and just watch your car drive off into the sunset up to Utah with your friend Christine. Because this is a mess. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how much money they have given this woman. Ooh, she got bamboozled. He says that he needed a place to nurture a relationship with Janelle, and now it's too late. This is one of those jewels that I'm talking about that he keeps dropping to see that we'll be able to go back and look on to say, yeah, this is why Janelle is no longer there. That's one of those jewels. It's the first day of school for Ari and Saul and for Brianna, right? But nobody can come into Robin's house, so they're sitting outside on the porch. Basically, how I can describe this is that Ari went to school, Ari doesn't know personal boundaries, and is already the girl who bugs the other children enough that they've gotten a call or something from the teacher. Now, I'm going to tell you, because I am a former teacher, and I've said this before, we have code words for when we talk to parents about their children. Not that we're saying anything really bad, but we don't want to sit in front of a parent and say, your child is obnoxious, or your child talks all the time, or your child is... We want to make sure that we are coming to parents with positivity because we love your children and we want to see them do well. I am a teacher who believes in words mean things. And when children hear those words or parents hear those words, it is a choice between you helping me as a parent with your student or you being against me because you feel like, excuse me, I don't like your child. And I love I loved all of my students. So when Ari's teacher said that she was being very helpful, that is teacher code word for she was a lot to handle. And I kind of couldn't get control of what she was doing in respect to the other student. But even Ari herself says that she was bothering her. She was bothering the little girl. The girl got a little mad at her. But then the story that she tells about why the little girl got mad kind of concerned me. She says that the girl had a man and that the man cut her off. I was like, what are you talking about? You are in kindergarten. Now, I realize I have heard some very interesting kindergarten conversations because I taught kindergarten. It's getting out of control, y'all. These pandemic kids, like these kids that had to be at home, I don't know what they were listening to, but they are talking about it. Man, and we broke up and she got cut off. Basically, what it came down to was I feel like she was telling the story of what is going on in her family, which means that her adults that she lives with are probably talking about this in front of her. And I haven't. All right, everybody, that's all I got. Thank you so much for making it this far if you did. And if you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free 99. Go ahead and hit the bell so you're notified when I put up new content. And go ahead and give me a thumbs up. It just helps the channel to grow. And I love sitting here and talking to you. Leave me a comment down below. Please be nice. I thank all of those of you who did see my last video that gave me kind correction in what I saw. I believe that if we can sit across the table from each other and talk, it's the way that we learn. Remember, if you have a dream, go ahead and go for it. Don't let anybody stop you because there's enough room for everybody. All right, y'all. Peace.